Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Stadium 2 on the N64. Oh man, it's been a long road to get here, but as you can see, I finally made it to round 2 of the Stadium mode here. Now if you guys would like, I will do a round 2 playthrough of both Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2. The thing is, I have plans to do this on Project 64, which is a really great Nintendo 64 emulator. And the reason is because mainly of save states. I'll explain a little bit more in detail once I get to starting the round 2 of the first stadium. But how I'm going to do save states is going to be completely different. Because the point of it is I always want to make progress. I can't deal with having to start entire cups over again because, you know, the computer cheats or luck isn't on my side. But we'll get to that when we get there, because in tonight's episode, we're going back to the Pokemon Academy. That's right. Now, it's been a while since we've been here last. But over the next couple of days, we're finally going to do the Elite Four class. Now tonight we're going to cover the lecture stuff, and tomorrow we're going to cover the verses, the actual battles, and then we'll end the Let's Play on round 1 for the N64 version. Now, again, if you want me to do a round 2 playthrough of this as well as the first stadium, leave your feedback in the comments below. And I'd be more than happy to play that for you on Project 64. Where it's going to have better graphics and all that fun stuff. But for right now, let's get to some advanced stuff. Now, I originally had plans to do this before the Elite Four, but I just forgot. I got so excited after the last gym that I just wanted to do the Elite Four right away. But now here we are, and we're going to talk about multiplied damage. So they talk about double duty damage. So, and again, I'm just going to hit the main points and just kind of move through the topics. So this is basically referencing same type attack bonus, 1.5 times boost. And then if the move's type matchup is good against both of its types. That's 4 times super effective, as many of you know who are familiar with Pokemon. And for those of you who aren't, that's what that means. And then for a critical hit, that's automatic double damage. So you could get a times 12 multiplier for multiplied damage for an electric move that's being used on Gyarados, which is water and flying type, for example. You could get a 12 times super effective damage with a critical hit and same type attack bonus and all the other fun stuff. There are 2 other multipliers. So this is where they talk about Sunny Day and Rain Dance. So, as many of you may know, Sunny Day powers up fire-type moves by 1.5% for the next 5 turns, and Rain Dance does the same for water moves. And then 3 moves total change the weather, so along with Sunny Day and Rain Dance, you have Sandstorm. These weather conditions won't double or triple. So the multiplier is 12 times 1.5 times, which is 18. So with the right conditions, you can inflict 18 times the usual damage, man. That's insane. Then we get into one of my favorite additions starting in Gen 2, which is held items. So you have stuff like Miracle Seed and you have Charcoal. And those boost the power of respectively grass and fire type moves by an extra 10%. And this multiplier also applies to the combined damage, including the weather. And then there's special held items like the Light Ball for Pikachu, which doubles its special attack, and then the Thick Club for Cubone and Marowak doubles their physical attack. So let's see how the combined damage multiplier works. Consider a case in which Pikachu holds a Light Ball, so if Thunderbolt hits the weak spot of Gyarados, which is water and flying again, it could be a 24 times super effective damage with a Light Ball. That is insane. Pika Pika? Man, that is insane. I mean, think about how much damage you can do to a dual type that's quad weak originally to your moves. So be wary of Pikachu, Cubone, and Marowak. Alright, let's go to the quiz. Here's a question. Which item doubles the physical attack power of Cubone? That would be the Thick Club. Easy. Easy money right there. And then we'll advance to support moves. We talked about support moves in the previous Academy episodes. So ones that work regardless of types, and ones that are affected by types. So Psychic type moves, for instance, don't affect Dart Pokemon at all, so Psybeam and Psychic, forget about it if you're facing a Dart Pokemon. However, these moves will work for any types, so Hypnosis will still work on Dart types, which is good to know. I wasn't quite sure about that at first, but this definitely clears that up for me, and I'm sure many of you as well. There's also other exceptional moves besides these, so please do be careful. As Misdreavus uses Confused Ray on poor Meowth right there. No. Support moves that are affected by type matchups. So Thunder Wave will never work on ground types. After all, the type matchup of an electric move on a ground Pokemon is the worst. It's the worst! And then moves like Poison Gas, Toxic, and Poison Powder, don't use those on poison types or steel types. Oh, so this is really important. So many of you may not know this, but what the text boxes say matters in certain instances. So, for instance, if a move says that it didn't affect a certain Pokemon, then that means that it's a 1 in whatever chance of missing. If it doesn't affect that Pokemon, that means that there's a type immunity in play, like the last slide where it talked about Thunder Wave being used on a ground type. That would say that it doesn't affect. However, if Thunder Wave was used on like a water type and it misses because Thunder Wave is notorious for missing in Gen 2 for whatever reason, it'll say it didn't affect on any given turn. So that's pretty much the main difference. If you guys have any more questions for any of this stuff, please leave them in the comments below and I'll be happy to look that stuff up for you and answer any questions that you have. So for now, moving on, and then they explain that in further detail here. So you guys can screenshot that if you want and take a look at it yourselves. Alright, give it your best shot. Give it your best shot, buddy. Thunder Wave is ineffective against which type? Water. No, just kidding. Ground type. Let's go. Alright, that's correct. I'm glad you listened correctly. Glad you listened correctly, you whippersnapper. Moves and tactics. So in general, a speedy Pokemon enjoys an advantage since it can attack first, but you can make up for slowness. So they talk about priority moves. So through Gen 2, there's only 3 priority moves that actually do damage to the opponent. Quick Attack, Extreme Speed, and Mach Punch. So Agility is going to boost the user's speed. So in the first stadium, I know in the Prime Cup there's a gambler that likes to use Agility and then use one-hit KO moves, since in Gen 1, back then, accuracy for one-hit KO moves like Horn Drill and Guillotine and Fissure were mainly predicated upon speed. So, in Gen 2, however, you can also lower the opponent's speed by using a support move like Scary Face or a move like Icy Wind. Personally, I prefer Icy Wind since it does damage as well as slows opponents down. And then, of course, you can paralyze opponents. And then here they talk about Pain Split or Reversal. Just make sure you knock out the opponent before it can use these moves. And then Destiny Bond, which is a move that Wobbuffet loves to use, so be careful. Because once you knock out Wobbuffet, after a turn of Destiny Bond, you're going to faint as well. So be really careful. Incidentally, there are also moves and tactics that don't depend on speed or which moves first. So Perish Song. That causes each Pokemon to faint 3 turns later. So you might want to switch out before then if you can. If a Pokemon uses Bide, it takes whatever damage the foe does to you for 2 or 3 turns and then does double the damage. And then counter and Mirror Coat again. 2 more of Wobbuffet's special moves are negative priority, but they do double damage based on respectively physical or special moves used against it. So Future Sight is a huge one. So in our episode where we battled Sabrina, her Alakazam loves to start off with Future Sight. And 2 turns later, it's going to hit. So against Sabrina in particular, you might want to switch to a Pokemon that may not be of much use against her to take that Future Sight damage rather than your ace in the hole, so to speak. And because it's typeless damage, it doesn't get the same type attack bonus for Psychic Pokemon. It does work on all Pokemon types, including Dark and Fighting. So Future Sight, because it does typeless damage, can also work on Dark types. That about wraps it up, buddy. Alright, here we go. Which move increases speed? Agility. Agilita. It's a pretty good setup move. Multi-type moves. Okay. So teach a Pokemon a move it hates. I love this. So Starmie can use Thunder, for example. In other words, coverage moves, particularly coverage moves that are super effective against yourself, like Thunder being learned by Starmie.
Mm-hmm. Ah, yes.
And in the round 2s of these games, you're going to see a lot of Pokemon with some coverage moves. So just as a heads up. So Cubone can learn Blizzard. It can also learn Fire Blast. Cubone and Marowak are pretty weird, in all honesty, because they can learn a bunch of special moves in particular, but they're not really all that good at special attack. And then Arbok can learn Earthquake. Arbok tends to have pretty good attack, so Earthquake would do pretty well, coverage-wise against Steel types, particularly. Then, of course, you can aim for the weak spots. So, for instance, water Pokemon are weak against electric attacks, so teach a water Pokemon a ground move, which will be super effective. So you guys have seen on my Pokemon Crystal team for the N64 version, I have a Feraligatr named Big Jaw, and I teach it Earthquake. And I believe against Claire, in that episode, she used her Ampharos, and I was able to knock it out with Earthquake. So this would be a perfect example of a multi-type move, which could really win you a match in a pinch, for sure. So I'd highly encourage that if you can make that work with the dynamics of your team against the opponent. So a foe who chooses to use an electric move or electric type against your water type will be surprised. Yeah. So electric type Flaffy gets destroyed by Politoed's Earthquake. Perfect. Other combinations, so grass type Meganium is weak to ice moves. So Meganium can learn Iron Tail to deal with ice Pokemon, which is great. I love coverage moves, man. They're so good. Umbreon can learn Psychic to deal with fighting Pokemon. I don't think Umbreon's all that good at special attack, however. But you could use this probably in a pinch and still get some wins here and there. Alright, here we go. If Starmie is to be taught a move it hates, which of the following should be taught? Thunder. Sure, it should totally be taught Frustration. Alright. Or Swift or Bubble Beam. Alright, move combos. So Defense Curl and Rollout, one of my favorites. So anytime you use Rollout directly after Defense Curl, Rollout's power doubles right off the bat. Sure hit combos, so you have Lock On and Mind Reader for setup, and then Zap Cannon and Dynamic Punch are guaranteed 100 accuracy after those respective moves. So I would not teach Zap Cannon or Dynamic Punch without Lock On or Mind Reader, just as a pro tip. It can be a pain, particularly if you have a slow Pokemon to take 2 turns to set those moves up, but once you do, man, it's going to be crazy. Especially when you have a move that can automatically paralyze and another one that can confuse. That can be really useful.
No.
Endure leaves the user with at least 1 HP after any attack, and then you can combine that with Reversal Flail or Pain Split. Heracross is great at this. You can use Endure with 1 HP, and then if it's fast enough, it can take out most Pokemon in one shot with Reversal. Vulnerable if your Pokemon's attack first. So these are combos that involve healing, such as Belly Drum or Curse. Then use Rest. It would be even more effective if the sleeping Pokemon had an attack move like Sleep Talk or Snore, or if it was holding a Mint Berry. Creeper combos, Toxic and Sandstorm. You can also create combos using Mean Look, Wrap, and Whirlpool. Man, that's just rude. That is rude. If you really want to get a stranglehold on your opponent, man, those sound like great strategies. Yeah, Sandstorm and Bind. So you could use Bind to keep your opponent in the match and then just tear your opponent apart with Sandstorm or Toxic or Whirlpool, and then Pursuit. So the Dark type move inflicts double damage if the opponent switches out. So the thing to do beforehand is to use a move that prompts switching. For example, lead with a move like Perish Song or Sandstorm. I've always wondered how to effectively use Pursuit in a match, but these sound like 2 good strategies here. Alright, here we go. What move's power is doubled after using Defense Curl? Rollout. Yeah, the thing about these combo moves is that you need fast Pokemon to make them work, or you need something with high health or high defense to make them work.
Pay attention, people, please.
Otherwise, you're just wasting turns. So here's some situational combos. So Minimize and Stomp. So if your opponent uses Minimize and you're able to stomp it, it'll do double damage that way. And then if an opponent's asleep, you can use Nightmare or Dream Eater. Again, these are just rude combos, man, that you could really wreck your opponents with. But I love them. I love them. Next, combos that work with the weather. So Sunny Day and Solar Beam, probably. Yeah, and then Fire type moves get a 50% boost off of Sunny Day. But they do cut the power of water moves in half. And then vice versa for Rain Dance. Morning Sun, Synthesis, and Moonlight will provide double the normal HP restoring power. In Stadium, these moves will fully heal it in a sunny day. Wow, good stuff. And then, of course, Solar Beam will fire right away in Sunny Day. Thunder's accuracy will drop under Sunny Day to roughly half. It's already bad enough on its own, but if you get a Sunny Day going and the opponent is stuck using Thunder, that'll only hit roughly half the time. And also another side effect is that you cannot freeze. Naturally, that makes sense, but you cannot freeze opponents in a Sunny Day either. Rain Dance, it does the same thing. Boosts water moves by 50%, and it cuts fire moves in half. So Morning Sun, Synthesis, and Moonlight will only heal roughly a quarter of the user's max HP in Rain. Solar Beam's going to be cut in half, but Thunder gets 100% accuracy. So you really see these types of combos in the Challenge Cup in particular. If your Pokemon is weak against fire moves, use this for added defense.
No.
Good deal. Togepi, use Safeguard and then switch it with Mankey. And then make it use Thrash. That'll prevent it from getting confused. Okay. Wow. Huh. That's interesting. Wow. Okay.
Indeed.
It does make sense because Safeguard protects you from status for 5 turns. Wow. I never even thought about that. It's good stuff. What move's power is doubled if used against a target that used minimized stomp? Alright. Alright, class, that's it.
Okay.
Already on the 7th topic. If you're willing to waste 1 turn by switching, it's best to bring out one that's type immune. Offense-minded switching. So let's say we have Pikachu out on the field, which is electric type, obviously. But my opponent uses Cubone. So switch it with a flying move to make it dodge moves like Boomerang, which is ground type. While it's true that the flying type is unaffected by ground moves, the type matchup of the flying type is neutral. In other words, you won't be able to attack super effectively. If I were you, I would not hesitate to send out a grass Pokemon like Sunflora. So ground moves can only inflict half of the usual damage on grass Pokemon, but grass is super effective against ground. Offense-minded switching.
Pay attention, people, please.
However, do keep in mind that the opponent's attacks are not only reduced in power, not made ineffective. Okay. Good deal. Let's get it. Let's get it. Switching Pokemon is very important. What is necessary for switching? Various Pokemon, yes. Again, the theme of the Elite Four classes topics is basically having good type coverage on your team.
Let us now begin.
Reading the situation. So Tauros versus Mantine. So you have a normal type versus a water and flying. So Tauros can learn Thunder, by the way. You would probably consider yourself lucky because Mantine is 4 times weak to Thunder. Hold on a second. Don't be fooled. Thunder is a special attack. That means that the amount of damage is determined by the special attack and special defense.
Let me see.
So, Tauros has horrible special attack, but Mantine's special defense is really good. So, I would not go with Thunder to try to deal with Mantine with the Tauros, particularly with the bad accuracy, is what he's saying. However, this is where same type attack bonus comes in because you could use a move like Double Edge or Body Slam, get a 50% boost off of same type attack bonus, and cause more damage that way. And in the case of Body Slam, you could even paralyze the opponent too.
Very, very simple.
Good stuff. Alright, here we go. Which move is powered up 1.5 times if it's used by Tauros Double Edge? Okie dokie, reading the foe's moves. Reading your rival. So Meganium versus Azumarill. A grass type versus a water type, respectively. Yeah, so you want to use Razor Leaf. Not only that, would you think about sending out a fire Pokemon? Sure. Against the fire Pokemon grasses have, it's rather vexing. What should you do about it? Use a normal type move that is equally effective against water and fire. In other words, a move that would be just as effective whether the opponent switches or not. For instance, I would use Body Slam. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay. So water type for Alligator versus fire type Rapidash. It's likely that your opponent will switch to an electric type. So use a ground type that is super effective against both fire and electric. By doing that, it wouldn't matter. So use a move like Earthquake. Do you see a Feraligatr with Earthquake? Yes. That's exactly what Big Jaw has in his moveset is Earthquake.
Very, very simple.
Good stuff. That's why coverage moves are so important. Body Slam is the normal type move that can be learned by Meganium.
Let us now begin.
Holding an item. Some wild Pokemon are already holding items. So, about 1 every 4 Clefairy is holding a Mystery Berry. In very rare cases, a wild Clefairy may be holding a Moonstone. I like to use Thief on it. Also, a Pokemon that is traded from red, blue, or yellow in the world of gold and silver will always be holding an item of some sort. And the item differs from Pokemon to Pokemon. Tangela is always holding a Bitter Berry. Okay, so that can cure confusion. Catch a wild Nidoran and evolve it into Nidorina. The evolved forms will still be holding the same item as the unevolved form. Its held item will always be Detect, which is TM43. If you catch a wild Nidorina, its held item won't change if it evolves into Nidoqueen. The item that it's holding will still remain the same as for Nidorina, which is a berry. Cool. There's an item that is only held by a wild Kadabra, Twisted Spoon. Many of you know that that item is most likely going to be Twisted Spoon. That's why it's so hard to get in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, because you have to trade a Kadabra or an Abra from Pokemon Yellow to get it, which sucks. I hate that, but it is what it is. Before I finish, I have to tell you about items that are useless. So, Light Ball is only useful with Pikachu. Thick Club is only useful for Cubone and Marowak. And no one else. Alright, here we go. A wild Clefairy may be holding an item other than Mystery Berry. What item is it? The Moonstone. Alright, last topic. Eggs. So there's a possibility that you will find an egg if your Pokemon appears to care for, is friendly with, or it shows interest in that Pokemon. So only during these 3 different pieces of text are you likely to find an egg. On the other hand, an egg will never be found if your Pokemon has no interest or it's brimming with energy. Yeah. Yeah, take that for what you will, I guess. Okay, my own experience tells me that a male and female of the same kind tend to be friendly towards each other. Makes sense. The paired Pokemon also tend to become friendly towards each other if they're caught by different trainers. Using these tips should help you find eggs. Let me tell you now, big secret. A Pokemon hatched from an egg may know moves that it normally wouldn't learn. Ah, egg moves, okay. So an egg move is a move that a baby Pokemon has inherited from its male parent when it hatches. The egg moves that a baby can learn depends on what kind of Pokemon it is. If the male parent knows the same kind of move, the baby Pokemon will already know the move when it hatches. So if you teach egg moves properly, you could breed a Horsey that knows Octazooka. That's insane. Or you might be able to see a Hoppip that can learn Payday. Wow, that's insane. That is freaking insane. Doesn't that surprise you? Why don't you go to the library and check the egg moves that various kinds of Pokemon can learn? Ah, I must seem to be running out of topics. You must stop relying on me for all the answers. Now get your butt on out there and dominate. Now, here we go. We're at the end, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. It would be easy to find an egg between the male and female of which kind of Pokemon? The same. There's a bit of a delay there. It kept me in suspense. Alright. Yeah, you'll see a lot of those types of weird egg moves in the Little Cup. So just be on the lookout for that as well. And I think we'll do the test as well to close things off for tonight. Which move is especially effective after using Rest? Snore. Snore, you can actually attack while you're asleep, which is what red Snorlax loves to do in Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Which move may be ineffective depending on the type? Oh, I don't know. Disable. No. Crap. The user loses 1/4 of its HP to make a copy of itself. Substitute. My Hypno from Pokemon Yellow has that move. Fully restores a fainted Pokemon. What item is this? Max Revive. Oh, so they start getting into items from the Game Boy games. This is cool. This is cool. I like this. Which is the normal type move that Sudowoodo can learn? Pound? Oh, crap. Okay. I have to get all of these right from here on out, otherwise I'm going to fail. It makes slower... Sunny Day, yes. Are you on a roll? To defense, which Pokemon should be switched in when the opponent is... Oh, Ghost. Yes, 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 yes. Since Ghost and Normal are immune to each other. Surprisingly, Arbok can learn which of the following moves? Earthquake. Arbok with Dynamic Punch, that would be awesome. Which of the following is Steelix's highest stat? Defense. Yeah, Steelix is really defensive. Which egg move can Squirtle learn? Gosh, I don't know. Outrage? Ah, I failed. Too bad, you loser. You friggin' loser. You didn't pass. Yeah, let's try it again. If you're giving priority to defense, this is the Elite Four class, so I expect the questions to be a little bit more challenging. So we would use Flying type against ground. Steelix's highest stat defense. That was on the test the last time. Which Pokemon can pass down an egg move when it is left in daycare? The male Pokemon. Yes, sir. Surprisingly, Magneton can learn which of the following moves? Rollout. Don't ask me how I know that. Snubble is which type of Pokemon? It's normal. Prevents stat reduction. 1 battle. What item is this? Guard Spec. Wow. It won't miss if used while it's raining. Thunder. I knew the answer to that before the question stopped scrolling. Especially effective after Parasong. Mean Look. Mean Look. Yes. Which move can be learned by Electabuzz? Ice Punch. Yes, Electabuzz can learn Elemental Punches in Gen 2, which is freaking awesome, man. Electabuzz is my all-time favorite Pokemon for those of you who are new and don't know. The user always faints. Explosion. I think I got them all right this time. Wow. They should have gave me these questions the first time, man. Well, gosh dang. Gosh dang, Earl. You dirty dog. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that episode. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you guys won't miss a new episode. Also, if you enjoyed the video, leave your feedback in the comments below and let me know. Tell me what you think. Also, if you guys want me to do a round 2 playthrough of this game, let me know that as well. So Thanksgiving is only a couple days away, guys. Whatever you do, be safe out there. Hang out with your family and friends. Eat some delicious turkey and stuffing and gravy and enjoy some football. It's only a couple days away. So, without further ado, this is your host Zori signing off. You guys take care. Have a great day. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night when we do the verses. So, take care, everybody. have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night.